I told my mum I'd met a new friend. They were 10 years older than me, but she was okay with it. I was okay with it too. It was cool. The age gap didn't bother me. My new friend bought me trainers and a new mobile phone. My school noticed, but didn't think it was odd. My new friend was just really generous. My new friend invited me to parties at their place all the time. I'd stay out all night, but my social worker didn't react. I liked being treated like an adult, getting drunk and partying. Though I did start bunking off school because of hangovers. My new friend told me that adults did sexual things for friends. I thought it was weird, but I went along with it. I didn't tell anyone what I did. My new friend sold me to a group of men who sexually abused me over and over again. I don't think they were my friend after all. The warning signs were all there, but no one noticed.
Because it happened to me, and I'm a boy, and boys don't get groomed and sexually exploited, do they? Grooming and sexual exploitation happens to both girls and boys. Know the warning signs. Let's talk about it.
We have worms, little itty bitty worms. We've got worms, wriggling worms. Do you remember in Eden when Eve said, let's get feeding? Now all of a sudden they're scheming and feeling all jealous and greedy. But there wasn't no serpents, no siree, there weren't. Even Adam had worms, so wonder if it was worth it. Now with knowledge forbidden, Yahweh said, are you kidding? Another alien invader, good luck, I'll catch you later. There are worms in our butts, and they're driving people nuts. We have worms in our butts, they keep messing everything up. We have worms, little itty bitty worms. We've got worms, wriggling worms. You know those pharaohs in Egypt? Well, you will never believe it. They worshipped kitties whose feces was filled with wormy diseases. And snakes on their crowns when you look at them upside down. It's the parasite hiding in plain sight. Like some suspicious traditions, a breast to bite the baby children. It likes to ride in saliva. It's why you kiss the bride. There are worms in our butts, and they're driving people nuts. You have worms in your butt, and they've turned you into a slut. Ever wonder why you're cranky or crave anal hanky-panky? It's these worms in our butts, now we've become completely cucked. We have worms, little itty-bitty worms. We've got worms, wriggling worms. We have worms, little itty-bitty worms. We've got worms, wriggling worms. Did you never learn about the Knights Templar? They had a fruity ritual to be a member. When your turn was up to be inducted, you had to kiss another knight in his buttocks. Ever wonder why there's more and more pedos? It's the wormies squirming in their heados, like the bugs who's spraying through infecting. So they climb until the birdies ingest them. As the wormy birdies fly into the sky, the pedos spread the parasites. If you doubt this massive deception, just try and mention ivermectin. There are worms in our butts, and they're driving people nuts. We have worms in our butts when you listen to your gut. It's the viral hive that's hiding inside your host intestinal lining. Why? These worms in my butt keep on telling me what's what. We have worms, little itty bitty worms. We've got worms, wriggling worms. We have worms, little itty bitty worms. worms. We've got worms, ring-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling worms. There's a reason you're consuming all this sugar and drinking lots of booze and using hookers. When Rowdy Roddy put on his sunglasses, he suddenly could see their wormy asses. Cause lurking right outside our dimension, the hive mind is dying for attention. So it sent us as a present wormy minions to eliminate all human opinion, while vying to conspire with each nation to spread contaminated radiation. Can't you tell we're living on a plantation for millennia? We've been inundated. There are worms in our butts, and they're driving people nuts. We have worms in our butts, they keep mussing everything up. There are worms in our butts, and they're driving people nuts. You have worms in your butt, they've turned you into a slut. Ever wonder why you're cranky or crave anal hanky-panky? It's these worms in our butts, now we've become completely cooked. There are worms in our butts, and they're driving people nuts. We have worms in our butts when you listen to your gut. It's the viral hive that's hiding inside your host intestinal lining. All these worms in our butts, politicians got a lot. We have worms, little itty bitty worms. We've got worms, wriggling worms. We have worms, little itty bitty worms. We've got worms, wriggling worms.
This is the city of revolutionaries from the American Revolution to create checks and balances in the United States Constitution so that we did not have a dictator, a king, the way those colonists were living under it. And they thought all along Massachusetts Avenue, all coming out, the Minutemen and women to say no taxation without representation. We want to have a balance. We cannot have a king. The American Revolution started here. The revolution of abolitionism started here. The revolution of the suffragette movement started here. The revolution of same-sex marriage started here. The revolution against the war in Vietnam started here. The revolution against Donald Trump and Elon Musk, it starts here in Washington.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Democratic Party of Oregon. Let's check in on a couple of their priorities as it stands today, February 18th. So instead of helping, Oregon families get ahead, and instead of helping the citizens themselves, they are working on a Senate Bill 611 to give illegal aliens food stamps. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. My hard-earned money and your hard-earned money are going to go to people that aren't even supposed to be here. So that's fun. Keep in mind, these are the same Democrats that are saying they're trying to make our communities a safer place, at the same time refusing to deport illegal criminals that are here, that are known criminals that have committed crimes on American soil. But don't worry about that. And with all of the other stuff going on in Oregon, see, we had a really bad wildfires in 2020 because our forest management is terrible, because the Democrats don't believe in forest management, because they believe in crap like climate change. They're focused not on new wildfire maps or anything that's important that will actually benefit Oregonians, all Oregonians. They're doing a House Resolution public hearing on House Resolution 3 to recognize and honor the history of black drag in Oregon. You literally can't make this up, dude. This is why all of us have to pump vitamin D in us, not just because we don't have sun, but because we're literally all depressed because our government hates us. But literally, this is their priorities right now, the Oregon Democrats. If you live in a blue state, I don't even know if you have it as worse as us, but this is what we're dealing with. But yeah, let's keep voting for them because we hate Elon Musk and we hate Donald Trump, even though we have no idea what we're talking about. We're just going to keep voting blue no matter who, even though these guys ruined Portland, cities like Portland, and just continue to pass laws and policies that have nothing to do with the majority of people.